You know that feeling when you're about to talk to someone new and your brain starts racing? What do I say? How do I stand? Am I making weird eye contact? You're so busy thinking about being social that you forget how to actually be social. It's like your brain turns into that friend who gives you terrible driving directions while you're already lost. The harder you try to follow the rules of conversation, the more awkward everything becomes. Mark figured out why this happens through one spectacularly uncomfortable moment that taught him something no social skills expert will ever tell you.
Elena, you know what's hilarious? I see all these LinkedIn posts about networking psychology and handshake research, and I'm thinking, where were these studies when I was 23 and trying to...
Oh dear, Mark. I sense this taught you something the hard way.
So picture this. I'm fresh out of college, first sales job, and I read this article about Stanford research. 8 seconds of firm contact builds maximum trust and rapport.
Let me guess. You became a handshake scientist.
Elena, I approached networking like a science experiment. I thought I'd crack the code to human connection. Yeah, but the research was peer-reviewed.
And how did your handshake laboratory experiments go?
About as well as trying to sell someone an extended warranty before they've even seen the car. So I'm at this TechFlow networking mixer. Young, cocky, armed with Stanford research. I see this executive by the coffee station. Perfect test subject.
Mark, please tell me you didn't conduct field research on unsuspecting...
Hey, in my experience now, I know this was stupid, but 23-year-old Mark thought he was being strategic. I walk up, introduce myself, and execute the perfect 8-second handshake.
You counted?
Elena, I counted like my commission depended on it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Oh, no.
By 5 Mississippi, this guy's looking at me like I'm having some kind of medical episode.
And you kept going?
7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. I'm watching his face go from confused to concerned to genuinely worried. But the research said 8 seconds.
Well, that's certainly thorough data collection.
Elena, by the time I let go, he announced to the entire coffee area, "Dude, are you okay? You can let go now."
Oh.
The whole networking section went silent.
Nothing says professional competence like holding someone hostage with an 8-second...
It was like trying to close a deal after the customer already walked off the lot. I learned that day, context beats research every single time.
Mark, your disaster actually illustrates something crucial about social psychology research. Most studies are conducted in controlled laboratory conditions with willing...
Yeah, but when you're actually in those situations, people are stressed, caffeinated, thinking about quarterly reviews, worried about parking meters expiring.
Exactly. You can learn more about people in one real conversation than from a dozen textbooks. You learn to read actual context, not follow scripts.
In car sales, you learn fast. People's body language, tone, timing. You can't just apply a one-size-fits-all approach and expect it to...
There's actually research supporting this. I studied real-world application gaps at coffee shops in Chicago. 70% of textbook psychology techniques fail because humans have context, emotions, and competing priorities.
So it's like, you can't use the same sales approach on someone buying their first car versus someone trading in their third BMW.
That's a perfect comparison, Mark. Context changes everything in human interaction.
This is exactly why most people feel socially anxious. They're trying to perform connection instead of having it.
Right. When I stopped trying to execute techniques and started actually listening to people, everything changed.
What happened when you abandoned your handshake research?
Same networking event, later that night, best conversations of my life. I was so embarrassed by the handshake disaster that I stopped trying to impress anyone. Just started asking people about their work.
Mark discovered what happens when you get curious. Your brain literally can't worry and wonder at the same time.
You know how in sales, the best closers aren't the ones with the best pitch? They're the ones who ask the best questions and actually listen to the answers. Exactly.
That's exactly right. Curiosity is the antidote to social anxiety because it shifts focus from internal judgment to external interest.
When you're focused on them, you can't worry about yourself. It's physically impossible for your brain to do both.
If you're wondering, why am I so socially anxious? Mark's experience shows it's not about lacking skills, it's about thinking too much about skills.
The research confirms this. Authentic interest beats performed confidence every single time. Social anxiety dissolves when you stop being the star of your own performance.
Instead of, how do I make them like me, it becomes, what's interesting about this person? Total game changer.
People are drawn to those who see them, not those performing to be seen. Mark learned this through public humiliation, so you don't have to.
Trust me, there are easier ways to learn that desperation repels and curiosity attracts than death-gripping strangers at networking events.
Your anxiety is trying to protect you from rejection, but it creates the very disconnection you're afraid of.
Who knew the secret to networking was actually not networking, just being genuinely interested in people?
You know what's worse than embarrassing yourself in front of strangers?
Oh no, where's this going?
The anxiety you create when you're completely alone.
That's not even... Is that even a thing?
Ask your filing system, Mark.
Yeah, but Elena, we had a deal.
Next time, when 5 minutes becomes 5 hours.
And why your brain is your own worst enemy.
I hate you both.